Crazy credits. In the end credits, Marlon Brando's name is the only one that is not accompanied by the character name that he plays. For example, as Vito Corleone. See more. Connections. Referenced in Mystery Science Theater 3000, The Magic Voyage of Sinbad. 1993, see more. Soundtracks. I Have But One Heart. 1945. Music by Johnny Farrow. Lyrics by Marty Symes. Performed by Al Martino, uncredited. See more. Frequently asked questions. Q. How does Vito know that Barzini was behind Sonny's death? Q. Was Fabrizio ever found? Q. What service did Bonacera perform for Don Corleone? See more. User reviews. The World Inside. The Underworld. July 4, 2005, by Vishwajit. See all my reviews. The Godfather trilogy is an exclusive set of movies that will continue to live with humanity. Every generation will see them to say, oh, that was 10 out of 10. If you watch them, you will know that the world that lives inside the underworld is same as the one we live in, except that people in underworld are so smart. In fact, smartness is the only thing that can keep them there. Don Vito Corleone's early life, shown in Part 2, is very well done to show the Don in making, how a kid who couldn't even tell his name went on becoming a underworld Don who keep most senators, judges and lawyers in his pocket. Meeting of Don with the so-called 5 families are among most impressive scenes. A saga that goes on for 9 continuous hours takes you around various walks in life of Mike, Don's younger son, who become Don later. His school days, love life, personal life, family life, business life, political life, and religious life. When the aging head of a famous crime family decides to transfer his position to one of his subalterns, a series of unfortunate events start happening to the family, and a war begins between all the well-known families, leading to insolence, deportation, murder and revenge, and ends with the favorable successor being finally chosen. How all of these different roles Mike plays in his life and how intertwined these are. I enjoyed watching these movies so much. I wish I had seen them much before than I did. It's amazing to see how the Part 3 was. Michael, the young and idealistic son of Vito Corleone, the head of the most powerful mafia clan in New York, returns home as a war hero and is determined to live his own life. But tragic circumstances make him face the legacy of his family. Made 18 years later, the Part I was made, and everything looks so continuous if watch them together. I need not say much. The Godfather Father trilogy been around for a while, and everyone knows that they are great set of movies. It's just The matter of when you actually get to see them. Watch them. Kudos to Francis Ford Coppola. Vichy. The story begins as Don Vito Corleone, the head of the New York Mafia family, oversees his daughter's wedding with his wife Carmela. His beloved son Michael has just come home from the war, but does not intend to become part of his father's business through Michael's life. The nature of the family business becomes clear. The business of the family is, just like the head of the family, kind and benevolent to those who give respect, but given to ruthless violence whenever anything stands against the good of the family. Don Vito lives his life in the way of the old country, but times are changing and some don't want to follow the old ways and look out for community and family. An up-and-coming rival of the Corleone family wants to start selling drugs in New York, and needs the Don's influence to further his plan. The clash of the Don's fading old world values and the new ways will demand a terrible price, especially from Michael, all for the sake of the family. Meanwhile, the Don's youngest son Michael, Al Pacino, a decorated U.S. Marine hero returning from World War II service, arrives at the wedding and tells his girlfriend, Kay Adams, Diane Keaton, anecdotes about his family, informing her about his father's criminal life. He reassures her that he is different from his family and doesn't plan to join them in their criminal dealings. The wedding scene serves as critical exposition for the remainder of the film, as Michael introduces the main characters to Kay. Fredo, John Cazale, Michael's next older brother, is a bit dim-witted and quite drunk by the time he finds Michael at the party. Santino, who is nicknamed Sonny. James Caan, the Don's eldest child and next in line to become Don upon his father's retirement, is married, but he is a hot-tempered philanderer who sneaks into a bedroom to have sex with one of Connie's bridesmaids, Lucy Mancini. Jeannie Linero. Tom Hagen is not related to the family by blood but is considered one of the Don's sons because he was homeless when he befriended Sonny in the Little Italy neighborhood of Manhattan, and the Don took him in and saw to Tom's upbringing and education. Now a talented attorney, Tom is being groomed for the important position of consigliere counselor to the Don, despite his non-Sicilian heritage. Also among the guests at the celebration is the famous singer Johnny Fontane, Al Martino, Corleone's godson, who has come from Hollywood to petition Vito's help in landing a movie role that will revitalize his flagging career. Jack Holtz. John Marley, the head of the studio, denies Fontane the part, a character much like Johnny himself, which will make him an even bigger star, but Don Corleone explains to Johnny, "I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse." The Don also receives congratulatory salutations from Luca Brasi, a terrifying enforcer in the criminal underworld, and fills a request from the baker who made Connie's wedding cake, who wishes for his nephew Enzo to become an American citizen. After the wedding, Hagen is dispatched to Los Angeles to meet with Waltz, but Waltz angrily tells him that he will never cast Fontaine in the role. Waltz holds a grudge because Fontaine seduced and ruined a starlet who Waltz had been grooming for stardom and with whom he had a sexual relationship. Waltz is persuaded to give Johnny the role. However, when he wakes up early the next morning and feels something wet in his bed, he pulls back the sheets and finds himself in a pool of blood. He screams in horror when he discovers the severed head of his prized $600,000 stud horse Khartoum in the bed with him. A deleted scene from the film implies that Luca Brasi, Lenny Montana, Vito's top button man or hitman, is responsible. Upon Hagen's return, the family meets with Virgil the Turk Sollozzo, Al-Lettieri, who is being backed by the rival Tattaglia family. He asks Don Corleone for financing, as well as political and legal protection for importing and distributing heroin. Despite the huge profit to be made, Vito Corleone refuses, explaining that his political influence would be jeopardized by a move into the narcotics trade. The judges and politicians he's allied himself with over the course of several decades would renounce their friendships with him if he were to enter the drug trade. The Don's eldest son, Sonny, who had earlier urged the family to enter the narcotics trade, breaks rank during the meeting and begins to question Sollozzo's assurances as to the Corleone family's investment being guaranteed by the Tattaglia family. His father, angry at Sonny's dissension in a non-family member's presence, silences Sonny with a single look and privately rebukes him. Later, Don Corleone then dispatches Luca Brasi to infiltrate Sollozzo's organization and report back with information. During the meeting, while Brasi is bent over to allow Bruno Tattaglia to light his cigarette, he is stabbed in the hand by Sollozzo, and is subsequently garroted by an assassin. Clemenza later takes Pele and one of the family's hitmen, Rocco Lampone, for a drive into Manhattan. Sonny wants to go to the mattresses, set up beds in apartments for Corleone button men to operate out of in the event that the crime war breaks out. On their way back from Manhattan, Clemenza has Paulie stop the car in a remote area so he can urinate. Rocco shoots Paulie dead. He and Clemenza leave Paulie and the car behind. Michael, whom the other mafia families consider a civilian and not involved in the mob business, visits his father at a small private hospital. He is shocked to find that no one is guarding him. A nurse tells him that the men were interfering with hospital policy and were told to leave by the police about 10 minutes before Mike's arrival. Realizing that his father is again being set up to be killed, he calls Sonny for help, moves his father to another room, and goes outside to watch the entrance. Michael enlists help from Enzo the baker, Gabriele Torri, who has come to the hospital to pay his respects. Together, they bluff away Sollozzo's men as they drive by. Police cars soon appear bringing the corrupt Captain McCluskey, Sterling Hayden, who viciously punches Michael in the cheek and breaks his jaw when Michael insinuates that Sollozzo paid McCluskey to set up his father. Just then, Hagen arrives with private detective's license to carry guns to protect Don Corleone, and he takes the injured Michael home. Sonny responds by having Bruno Tattaglia, Tony Giorgio, the eldest son and underboss of Don, Philip Tattaglia, Victor Rendina, killed off camera.
Follow us. Google search www.googlesearch.co.in. Facebook/blog2 page/ www.facebook.com web link. Twitter.com/blog2bebt. Twitter.com web link. If you like this video, click like icon and share your friends.
If you want more best videos, please subscribe and click bell icon.